Hey there everyone, thanks again for tuning into Sin's Workshop. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Alright, today we're going to be talking about Curse of the Divine by Kim Smijskal. I'm horrible at pronouncing her name. Practice, and yep, nope, can't do it. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying. This is the sequel to Ink in the Blood, and if you remember Ink in the Blood, I kind of had a lot of mixed feelings about it. I didn't know if I really enjoyed it just because it was really heavy. Ink in the Blood, and you can check out my review in my 2020 book reviews playlist. But there are a bunch of other things that I was iffy on. However, the author definitely improved on some of those things early on in this novel, and that's kind of what I really liked about it. It's clear that the author is trying so hard to be diverse and to have a lot of LGBTQ representation. I think what was wrong with the first book was it didn't feel like the author understood what it meant to be part of the LGBTQ community. That's just how it sounded. You know, we have to commend her for including, but I think the wording, some of the time, it bothered me, especially when it came to addressing people as, you know, non-binary or even transgender individuals. She was just kind of referring to it as it's a choice. I mean, it's a choice to live your true self, definitely, or to not live your true self. That's a choice. But your identity, who you are, my personal feeling is that's who you are. I don't really think it's a choice. You are who you are, and, you know, screw the rest of the world and what they think. You know, it's you. You are your own person, and I think that's kind of what bothered me with Ink in the Blood. It was just the wording here in this novel, in that novel. However, in this novel, I think it was more contemporary. It was more thoughtful. It was more realistic. You know, as a inkling, the, you know, main character, she can see auras about your identity, and a lot of the time it's a swirl. Like, you have these individuals, they haven't chosen their name, they haven't figured out yet that they either are non-binary, if what their pronouns are. So that's what I liked about this. You know, really early on, I think the author really did fix what bothered me a lot of the previous novel. And what I also think is really, really good about this novel is I definitely like the pacing way more. Ink in the Blood, it just felt really, it was like a weight was on my shoulder when I was reading it. I was just like, oh my god, like I was exhausted when I was done with it. I wasn't exhausted with Curse of the Divine. I think there's definitely more to it. You know, we have the world's been established. The main character's with her plague doctor, and it's so funny, I can't remember her name, but I can remember the plague doctor, Halcyon, Diavala, Dante, her friend Anna or Annie. It's one of those two, but I can't remember her name. I think it's Clara. I'm not sure. But I remember everyone else, and that's funny. That's just funny to me that I remember pretty much everyone else's name except for hers. Maybe that says something about her characterization. I don't know, because I don't think she was poorly written. I think I liked her more in this book. I really, really did like her more in this book, because I feel like in the first novel, she felt as if she had no purpose. She was part of the religion Propheta. She wanted to bring it down. She wanted to stop Diavala. She wanted to just take down this rigid, corrupt religion that was controlling people's lives. She wanted to do away with that, and she succeeded. If you read Ink in the Blood, she succeeded, but not without a cost. And the cost was, her best friend. Here, Diavola's not dead. The religion is, though. Profeta is gone. It's gone, because everyone thinks Diavola, the divine, is gone. But she's actually in the body of the Plague Doctor. What I think is really cool is you get to know Diavola more. In the first novel, she was this menacing, angry, divine entity. And you understood why she was angry. You understand, she was killed twice as a child. First in her own body, and then in a second body, no one believed it was really her. So you understood her as a villain, as the antagonist. There's no doubt about that. But in this novel, you do get to see a more human approach to her. She didn't mean to start Profeta. She was just a kid who got a hold of some magical ink. Turns out she stole it from Halcyon. What? Crazy. He's an ass, by the way. There's nothing redeemable about Halcyon. Whereas Diavola, you pity her. You sympathize with her. You want her to get her ending, because what she wants more than anything is to stop living in other bodies. She wants to just die and move on. But her curse for stealing this ink as a child, this ink that she stole because she was hungry and she needed to sell something for food. She just wanted to share artwork with people. They weren't supposed to have a meaning to it. A religion wasn't supposed to start. She just wanted to do something kind for people, to share artwork with people, and in exchange, she was kind of like a mystical tattooist at a young age, and it helped feed her, it helped keep her clothed, it gave a roof over her head. So you understand her, where she came from. And then she came back because she was cursed by Halcyon for stealing the ink, because he's a crazy SOB. And that's what I really liked about the story, because it's not just your main character, and it's not just the Plague Daughter, although I do like how we do get more personality from the Plague Doctor. See, this is why I like this one more than Ink in the Blood. There's more personality to the characters. Those dynamics, they're fresher, they're cleaner. You can understand them well. You can understand the devotion between the characters. It's easy to follow and easy to understand and easy to connect to as far as you're reading it. The first book, not so much. So I do think the author's writing style and her storytelling has definitely improved greatly. And I think that that's amazing. You're definitely seeing the change, the growth in the writing style and the world building. World building's already done, but now you're kind of in this topsy-turvy little town controlled by Halcyon, and it's just like, the Inside Out Inn. It was a little reminiscent of Wonderland in some parts, which I thought was really charming. I personally, again, I did like that a lot. I was enjoying it. I enjoyed it a lot. So I do think that this book, I enjoyed it way more. Clearly, I enjoyed it way more, because again, there's more depth to the characters, to their personalities, and your main character, she definitely goes on this incredible journey. She's on a mission of vendetta in the beginning, and she kind of gets swayed by Halcyon's point because she wants to save her Plague Doctor. She can't lose the second person that she loves. So she's on this really dark, treacherous journey with the mystical ink, and now she's just on Diavola. She switched. The person she's been trying to destroy, Diavola, they're on the same side by the end of it, and that's what I thought was really cool. Your main villain from the first novel isn't really the real villain. I liked that twist. I thought it was engaging, and I like how her, Diavola, and the Plague Doctor, because she's living inside his head, they have a lot of conversations. I liked those conversations between them, because it gave us more insight into who the Plague Doctor was. Definitely found him way more enjoyable in this novel than Ink in the Blood. I definitely I do think this is a sequel that surpasses its predecessor, because so many things that bothered me from the first novel, they were fixed. They were done so well. They were executed so well. I mean, I really did end up enjoying Curse of the Divine, and I didn't know if I was going to be honest with you. I was like, oh, Curse of the Divine. I'm like, well, the publisher gave me a copy. I should read it. I'll read it. Very happy that I did. Very, very happy that I did. I was not disappointed. And that's what I liked about it. The fact that I was not disappointed. In fact, maybe it's because my expectations were so low, but no. I do think it was written better than the first novel. So I'm going to go ahead and give Curse of the Divine, I'm going to give it 4 stars. Didn't quite blow me away, but it was a vast improvement on so many different levels than Ink in the Blood, which just kind of like, oh, that's how it left me. This one is just like, I'm here, I'm ready, let's go destroy this guy who's delusional. So on that note, once again, Curse of the Divine gets 4 stars. If you want to go ahead and purchase the book, I will include a link in the description below. Please support your local booksellers and purchase from your local bookstore or online preferred book retailer. Try to avoid Amazon at all costs. If money's tight, please check this book out from your local library. Libraries are a great resource, and they're there for you to read. And on that note, I hope you all will continue to support me by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, sharing it with all your book loving friends, and becoming a supporter. There are links in the description below in ways that you can support me. Buy me a coffee, you can purchase one of my candles, anyway, any little bit helps. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.